I have a question, Stuart.
Yes.
Stuart, I'm seeing so many different changes in your head and your forehead and a lot of light beaming out. I'm wondering if we could have a new picture of you taken.
Yeah, I don't see a problem, you know.
Yeah, it would be so wonderful to have that to work with, you know.
Yeah, we can do that, you know.
Great.
If you get the right photographer and you do it.
It's very
Yeah,
beautiful.
there's no problem, Chris. I can do that, you know, so not a problem.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have a question?
Stuart, I have a question, Bob Sink.
Yes, Bob?
On those days that where the energy is chaotic and strong for myself and others, the advice in the past was to work harder, but it seems as we move forward, it's to be more intelligent how we work. Could you talk about that piece?
I think at this point, we all have to kind of mellow out a little bit and let the energy really go into our hearts, open the heart, you know, let it truly take us to a place where we can, you know, love unconditionally in the world and just be happy people. I mean, I think the energy is so powerful now. I mean, you know, I mean, half the time I don't know what the hell is going on. You know, it's so strong. But I do know this, that I've learned from this energy. It's come in order to take myself and anyone who wants to go there to a much more mellow place, to a place where there's a great deal of sweetness and love and caring, and you know, and I mean, look, I've been waiting for this for a long time, and I'm so grateful that this is starting to happen. And if you fight it, it'll be chaotic. If you're just open to it, it'll nurture every part of your inner being, saying to us, look, you know, the world we live in has become so bizarre. You know, I mean, I'm not sure it's any more bizarre than the day I was born, but it's, you know, it's right in your face today with media, with internet, with, you know, at least back then it was buried a little bit. I didn't hear as much about it, but it's, you know, it shouldn't have any relevance to what we have to do in order to have a spiritual life. And I think that's what the energy is about now. It's really mellowing me out. It's, you know, it's doing something to me. You know, years ago, I would, you know, I had these huge projects and I would fighting in myself to get to a higher place, to get the energy. It's not going on now. What I keep hearing is a voice inside me that says, Stuart, you have to mellow out. You have to get that sweetness and that love inside you. You know, that part of you that is a compassionate human being. And you have to begin to live with that every day of your life. So I don't know. I mean, look, I've been through a lot in my life. I've been through huge situations that I've had to take on my back and support, and that required me truly breaking myself down, you know, getting to that energy that can enable me to support it. I've done that. I've been there. And I don't find that really as relevant to my life as it used to be. I mean, people that study with me and become teachers, they could build huge situations. I mean, I just want to really ultimately attain a state of inner happiness and joy that allows me to live every day with God. And I think this started happening about 2-3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that every day the energy is like I've never known it before. And it's not a bad thing. It's a wonderful thing. I mean, what do we want? We want to be happy people here, you know? We want to live simple and sweet lives and nurturing lives. And we want to constantly feel the presence of a higher force nurturing us all the time. And if we're so wrapped up in ourselves and our own, even our own growth and our this and that, the me, it keeps that higher energy from coming into us and nurturing us. It doesn't mean we stop living in the world. As I've said all the time, for years I've been saying it, the greatest teacher on the planet Earth is life. Life has taught me this. And I think, although I don't know for certain, but I suspect that this has to be a real need inside anyone that is practicing deep spiritual work, not a superficial veneer of sweetness. You know, I'm not talking about that. People do that, and it's, you know, Rudy used to call them hors d'oeuvres, you know, people that would do that kind of stuff. I'm talking about a depth of sweetness that comes from such a profound place inside ourselves that it truly is an organic connection with higher energy in the universe. Sweetness that comes out of the fire that's burning all of the karma inside us. And I think that, to me, it's what's going on now. To me, it started 2-3 months ago, all this. Even the tone of my voice has changed. The way I talk, the way I interact with people has changed. And I think it's just wonderful and extraordinary. I mean, you know, every Swami in India has an Ananda at the end of their name, you know? And that Ananda is supposed to means bliss. It means love. It means total surrender to God. And again, it's not a veneer of sweetness, you know? I mean, you can't whitewash this and expect it to do what I'm talking about. It's got to come from a place that is so deep inside that it just manifests in your life.
Thank you, Stuart.
Does anyone else have a question they would like to? I mean, this is an important subject, you know, because I think we all initially get involved in some kind of spiritual practice to overcome all of the obstacles and tensions that are in us that are keeping us from being happy people. I would say 99% of all people that get involved in meditation do it because they're miserable inside. They want to change something. Well, Rudy gave us an exercise that can truly change all of that, but it has to be done in depth. It can't be, as I said, a veneer that covers up some Pandora's box of unhappiness. That most people live with. So that what I'm talking about is living experience. The effort one has made to transform all of the things that keep us from being happy into a spiritual life. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? And to do this, you have to work against the dark side of yourself. That part of one that constantly says, no, I'm going to be miserable no matter what it costs me. You know, there's that dark side of every person that says, no, I'm not going to let go of my unhappiness. And people keep their unhappiness, they keep their neurosis and anxiety, because as long as they're full of their unhappiness, neurosis, and all that angst that goes on inside people, they don't have to function on any kind of a level. I mean, it's like living in some womb somewhere, you know, that keeps you from ever breathing and functioning and being happy. And people sustain that because, you know, they don't want to change. And as long as they're, you know, a victim, and as long as they're miserable and unhappy, they don't have to change. They don't have to take any real responsibility in life. They don't have to have any bigness of vision in life. How can I have, when I'm this, you know, I have this dark side of me that never, you know, has its claws in me that never lets go. No, it's we have our claws in the dark side and we never let go. Because as long as we're holding on to it, we don't have to really be creative people and live, you know, as literally as servants of God, higher energy. We live as the servant of our neurosis. And that doesn't go away unless somebody is willing to go deep enough to just, I mean, it's like dredging a river, you know, you got to go deep and all the garbage comes to the surface. And then you can flush it out. I mean, I always, even as a young kid, I always believed that if there's any hell in this world, it's the madness that goes on inside people. That's the hell. That's the real hell. Not some place after you die that you know, if you didn't behave yourself here, they send you to burn for 100 million years. It's the madness in us. That's the hell. It's the mind that never shuts up. And what makes it even worse is we hold on to it. We don't let it go. So this period of my life is about letting everything go. I'm simply uninterested in holding on to any of that stuff. I have no use for it. You know, I have great use for being a child of God. Refining my inner life, you know? I'm not walking around being a victim of anything. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, I just have one announcement. On Monday, I have to go get one of those eye treatments. So I'm not going to be able to teach the class. It's not possible to teach a class. And so there will be a class on Sunday. And on Monday, I will have that treatment. So, and then there'll be another class on Wednesday. Does anyone else have a question? I mean, look, it's just a big hug, you know? That's all it is. It's the sweetness of loving. I mean, I saw somebody today after 2 in-person classes, their whole persona, their whole inner life was transformed. It was suddenly glowing. It was amazing. That's how we all should want to live, glowing. Does anyone else have a, no, I asked that 5 times already. Okay. All right. There'll be a class on Sunday, and God bless you all for being here and helping me to grow. And I'm just infinitely grateful for that. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all. Classes seem to be getting smaller, but that's all right, you know. I need real students. I don't need a great quantity of human beings sitting here, you know? And real students will, you know, they will sustain it. They'll work through it. They will come. So bless you all and thank you. And I'm looking forward to seeing everyone on Sunday.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
So beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome.